Well, we're going to try and tie a Mallard Smelt. Now, it's one that's been used in New Zealand for a long, long time. The original pattern, this one's a bit rough here, but was mallard flank feathers. It's done with green wool, done with an oval tinsel, and either a white or grey hackle, just a cock hackle in this colour. I'll just take one out before we start, because knowing me, the cats will run away with a feather duster. So we'll take a few of those out. Okay. So for you folk, you can just use your Black Magic B10. That's a long shank, or you can use a short shank 6. I'm actually going to use an old Mustang 7957. It's only just because it's just a little bit bigger for you folk to see. Alright, so I'm just using a black thread. You could use blue, you could use fluoro green. We've got a lot of modern colours. We could add a red tip, but this works really well. It works well as a dropper. Nymphing, browns love it. But not give too many secrets away. I'll just trim that off. And I just use nail varnish. I just use very little. This is a new bottle, but normally I've got 2 bottles on the go. One's really, really thick and one's thinner. And the thicker one I just use a wee bit, very little. Now, these are mallard grey flank. These are called medium. These ones I've noticed are even on both sides, so they must be the middle feathers when they've taken them out. Sometimes you've got to pair them up, they're one-sided. So what I've done here, I've already cut the V out of the centre. Then I'm going to come up, because these are even, I want to work out, I put my scissors in there, work out how thick I want that tail. So there, I've got it there like that. So you can see that. So now what I do, I try to do, if you wet them, they will hold together better. I'm going to cut this side, hold it, tip the other one round, and then try and match those tips together. Pull it down and grab it. Amazing, that went. Sometimes it doesn't. There's a couple there a little bit long, but I'm not, see it's long that way, but I tip them, and that's the top of the tail. So we had this about the length of the body, or the shank. So I come down here with my thumb and forefinger. Always use these 2 fingers. Hold it, come up and straight down. Come up and straight down, come up and straight down. I do that 3 times and make sure that that is flat, lying flat with the shank of the hook. Then just keep coming forward and tying that in. Just going to trim that. This thread might be a little bit heavy, but there's a nice tail. So now with the wool, this is fairly fine. But to tie it in like this, you get a real bulky body. So I will split this. You can get 1 strand or 2. You might be better with 2, because sometimes just 1 strand might. So if you pull it and hold those 2 strands, working down, it'll unravel. Okay. So I'm going to tie this in, catch it, come back. And then with my oval tinsel, I'm going to tie this in. Come forward and leave enough room for the head. Do a half hitch. Sorry. Just going to clean that up before I get carried away. Alright, now a wee bit of blue. Now I'm going to wind this away from me. I'm going to unravel it a wee bit because I'll get a better body with this just flat. I don't use pliers on this. It's easier just to let it run through your fingers. And we can overlap this a wee bit, either hard up against your last turn or slightly overlapping. Sometimes you do see a little bit of body through, but that can be effective as well. Okay, so I'm going to come back here quickly, and then I'm going to build it up from here. Just gives me a bit more of a shape. Didn't give myself much wool, did I? And I'll just tie it off on the top. So it's giving me a slightly tapered at the back and slightly fatter at the front, but I still don't want a heap here in the head. Do 1/2 hitch and 1 turn. And this is where really you should be using your pliers, which I'm not sure where mine are, but I didn't move too much around or I'll send things flying. So with your pliers, but very only want about 3.5 turns at the most. 3, and then I'm going to come up. Oops, come up. Now hold your thread and pull your thread past and pull this forward. See what happens, your thread cuts through it. I do that 3 times. Cut this by 1/4 inch or 6 or 7 mil. Pull it. So then you end up with a silver thread. And that is easier to tie in, and it's not going to pull out if this gets hooked. Do a 1/2 hitch. 1 turn, and now we've got to pick up one of the grey feathers. I'm just saying I don't want anything too big, but I want something that's nice and soft. These are actually quite, this here's got a really nice, oh, that's too long. So here's a nice grey feather. So I'm just going to pull some of the fluff up and bring it up to about roughly the size that you want. Tie it with the face of the feather facing you. Catch that quill 2-3 times. I don't really carry on tying it on. I don't do a 1/2 hitch here because if it gives away you can undo it and start again. So then I'm going to pick this up with my thumb, my 2 forefingers or thumb finger. I pull that, and that pulls the hackles back. Now that first wind is hard up against the wool, but on top of your thread. The next one is hard up against that, not on top of it, but hard up against it. And I actually think I can get another turn out of this because there's not much to the fly. It's very simple. Then I come up with the thread, hold it here, and so it's catching on the top. And then I pull the hackle round and down. If you can get that, it will help. You don't get all the fibres caught in and going in all different directions. So you hold that there, pull that round and down. So I'm just going to trim that. And twist my thread. Now I'm just going to come down to the head, making sure that's getting this built up. I'm just holding the feathers away at this stage because we want a tidy head. So we've got to build this up gradually. So we come down and come back up. That's about it. Sometimes you can do it with your 1/2 hitch as well. There's a wee bit there needs covering, but I can do the rest. Now I've only just caught the base of those feathers so they're not pushed right back. So that's your fly, and then we'll just use a bit of varnish, a bit of UV, whatever you want to do your head. You could paint an eye on it if you wanted to, but that's what we call, that's the original Mallard Smelt. It's a really, really good fly. So we've got size 6, 8, 10, flank feathers, a mallard drake. We've got green body material, which could be green wool. There's quite a few other, you could even use green floss, whatever you've got, even fluoro green egg, what you make, glow bug material, you could split that down and make it really, really thin. And then a hackle. This hackle can be white. The original one was white. It can be grey, and it can be grizzle. Most of them today I think are grey. And also this fly works well. You can even put a little piece of rabbit here on the top, just a little chunk. That works really well too. Okay, bye for now.